Hey folks, this is Max and welcome to another workflows video. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to iterate over an object with a key and a value. Or another way, this is how to use object for each card. Okay, so to start, we have a JSON object. Now, usually, or most likely, you would get it from an API call. But in this case, I just have a simple JSON that has location 1, and then some IP addresses, then location 2, some IP addresses, location 3, and IP addresses, and so on. So again, most likely you would get this kind of JSON from an API call, but in this case, we're just going to use this sample. And so I'm using JSON parse card to enter a string here, and then I get an object back. And we can test this card just to show you how it looks. So this is, of course, you can use this approach if you don't want to call an API, then you get this file. So what we need is the goal for me at the end is to get just the AP addresses, right? So that's what I need. I need to iterate over this object and get the AP addresses. Okay, so this is the first card. This is my sample JSON. And let me go back. What I'm doing here, so this is the output, but instead of getting the root of this JSON object, I'm passing in the file content to this for each card. Let me show you this again. Okay, so yes, instead of passing the whole thing in a way, I am just passing just everything under file content, because that's really what I need, all right? So I'm passing, and then I'm calling helper flow. And then for the helper flow, let me show you, I have it open here. I have, so this is a little bit different than the list for each, is that you need to define a key and then the value. So the key is a string in my case, and then the value is an object, right? Because again, if I look, let's look here, because what I need is, so this is the key, and this is the value, right? So my object has just sort of it's not very complex, but of course you can pass a much more complex object as well. Right, and then once I have the object, let me go back. Once I have this object, I use get multiple to retrieve the AP address, or addresses in this case. Okay, so let's go back and let's see how this works. Let me click test. All right, so this is my JSON. It was passed here. And let's go to the helper flow. And so this is the fourth location, and this is the third location, this is the second location, and this is the first location. And then if we go back to the last one, so we can see this is the key, this is the value, and then we can look at the value again. Again, it has also a description, which we don't really need in this case. And then we can see I get a list of IP addresses. Okay, so that's how you will use, this is how you will use the object for each card. All right, so again, similar to the list one, but you do need to pass two things now, a key and also the value. Now, one more thing I want to show you is, let's say you also, we get a list here, but let's say you want to get separate addresses from that list. Now, if you know that the number of addresses will never change, then you can just say, give me the address at position 0, 1, and so on. But it's likely that the position, the number of items might change, and then this approach won't work. So what we can do is we can create another helper flow to iterate over all the items in that list. So let's do that quickly. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to create a new, just call this IP helper. And we'll make this helper flow. We're going to pass in the IP address, and then we're not going to do much. We're just going to use the assign card to really just kind of display display the value. All right, so this is another helper flow. And it's actually, we can call this helper. All right, let's go back. Let's open the first helper, and then let's add a function. So now this is going to be for each list one. So again, what I just showed you is how to use this one, but this is the list one. And then we're going to connect the list and then choose flow. We're going to go to our folder and select the new helper flow. And then we're going to pass in just the item itself, which is a string. All right. Let's open the other helper flow we just built. And let's turn this on. So again, just quickly, we have the main one, right? So the main one calls this helper flow via the object for each. This is the helper flow, and then in turn we call this one. All right. So let's click test. All right. And if I go right here, then you can see all the API addresses sort of are parsed, individually. So this is the first one. I can see this is the first one. This is the second one, and this is the third. And they're all ending in 03. Next one is going to be 04. So just a little bit easier to see in this demo. And then the last one is 9. Okay. So that's all. That's all I wanted to show you. So 2 things really. First is how to use object for each, and then also if you need to have access to each value individually, then we use the list for each card to process that even further. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.